करोति विश्वास्थिति संयम्योदयम् करोति विश्वास्थिति संयमोदयम् यस्यैप्सितनप्सित इक्षितो गुणैः यस्यैप्सितं नेप्सितं इक्षितो गुणैः मया यथाया भ्रमते तदाश्रयम् माया यथाया भ्रमते तदाश्रयम् ग्राणो नमस्ते गुणकर्म साक्षिणे ग्राणो नमस्ते गुणकर्म साक्षिणे करोति विश्वास्थिति संयमोदयम् यस्यैप्सितं नेप्सितमीक्षितोर्गुणे मया यथाया भ्रमते तदाश्रयम् ग्राणो नमस्ते गुणकर्म साक्षिणे
करोति विश्वास्थिति संयोदयम् यस्यैप्सितं नेप्सितं इक्षितोर्गुणैः माया यथायो भ्रमते तदाश्रयम् ग्राणो नमस्ते गुणकर्म साक्षिणे
करोति विश्वास्थिति संयमोदयम् यस्यैप्सितं नेप्सितमीक्षितोर्गुणैः माया यथायो भ्रमते तदाश्रयम् ग्राणो नमस्ते गुणकर्म साक्षिणे
करोति विश्वास्थिति संयमोदयम् यस्यैप्सितं नेप्सितमीक्षितोर्गुणैः माया यथायो भ्रमते तदाश्रयम् ग्राणो नमस्ते गुणकर्म साक्षिणे करोति विश्वास्थिति
करोति विश्वासिति संयमोदयम्
यस्येप्सितं नेप्सितमीक्षुतर्गुणे
यस्येप्सितं नेप्सितमीक्षितुर्गुणे
माया यथायो भ्रमते तदाश्रयम्
माया यथायो भ्रमते तदाश्रयम्
प्राणो नमस्ते गुणकर्म साक्षिणे
प्राणो नमस्ते गुणकर्म साक्षिणे. Word to word translation and purport by His Divine Grace. Please, Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Please repeat. Karoti, performing, Vishwa, of the universe, Sthiti, the maintenance, Samyama, winding up, Udayam, creation, Yasya, of whom, Ipsitam, desire, Na, not, Ipsitam, desire, Iksitu, of the one glancing over, Gune, with the modes of material nature, Maya, the material energy, Yatha, as much as, Aya, iron, Brahmate, moves, Tadasrayam, place near that, Granva, a magnetic stone, Namo, my respectful obeisances, Guna Karma Sakshine, the witness of actions and the reactions of material nature. Translation. O Lord, you do not desire the creation, maintenance, or annihilation of this material world, but you perform these activities for the conditioned souls by your creative energy. Exactly as a piece of iron moves under the influence of a lodestone, inert matter moves when you glance over the total material energy. But sometimes a question arises, why the Supreme Lord has created this material world, which is so full of suffering for the living entities entrapped in it? The answer given herein is that the Supreme Personality of Godhead does not wish to create this material world just to inflict suffering on the living entities. The Supreme Lord creates this world only because the conditioned soul wants to enjoy it. The workings of nature are not going on automatically. It is only because the Lord glances over the material energy that it acts in wonderful ways. Just as a lodestone causes a piece of iron to move here and there, because materialistic scientists and so-called Sankhya philosophers do not believe in God. They think that material nature is working without supervision, but that is not the fact. In Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila 6.19, the creation of the material world is explained as follows. Yadyapi Sankhya mane pradhana karana jada haitya bhunaye jagat srajana Nija srishti sakti prabhu sanchare pradhane Ishwarera sakti tave harira nirmane. Atheistic Sankhya philosophers think that total material energy causes the cosmic manifestation, but they are wrong. Dead matter has no moving power, and therefore it cannot act independently. The Lord infuses the material ingredients with His own creative potency. Then by the power of the Lord, the matter moves and interacts. Sea waves are moved by the air, and the air is created from ether, and the ether is produced by the agitation of the three modes of material nature. And the three modes of material nature interact due to the Supreme Lord's glance of the total material energy. Therefore, the background of all natural occurrences with the Supreme Personality of Godhead is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. Maya Dakshina Prakriti Suyate Sajaracharam. This is also further explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, 5th chapter 59 to 61. Jagat karana nahe prakriti jada rupa Sakti sanchariya tare Krishna kare kripa Krishna Sakti prakriti hayo guna karana Agni Sakti loho eche karare jarana Ataeva Krishna mula jagat karana Prakriti Karana Jaya Jagadasthana. Because the Prakriti, material nature, is dull and inert, it cannot actually be the cause of the material world. Lord Krishna shows his mercy by infusing his energy into the dull, inert material nature. Thus, Prakriti, by the energy of Lord Krishna, becomes the secondary cause, just as iron becomes red hot by the energy of fire. Therefore, Lord Krishna is the original cause of the cosmic manifestation. Prakriti is like the nipples on the neck of a goat, for they cannot give any milk. Thus, it is a great mistake on the part of the material scientists and philosophers to think that matter moves independently. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanan Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Radhamayam Dadati Swakarantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapadakanam Shri Gurun Vaishnavansya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Savitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschayate Sakarini Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurati Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishna Bhaktarupa Sarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktaksham Namami Bhaktasashtikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Diyabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishamano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So, I'd like to thank all of you for coming to Sunday Bhagavatam class. So, I'd like to thank Vijay Kisar for giving us an opportunity to say some glories of the Lord for our purification. Just mention Srunata Swadhaya Nityam. Like once we hear Srimad Bhagavatam with Shraddha, Grunata Sochestinam, once we accept the teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam to the best of our capacity, Kalina Nadi Dirkhina, Visati Hrudayam Prudi. It's just a matter of time we'll realize the Lord in our heart. Yes. What we have to do? We have to accept the teachings of Bhagavatam with Shraddha. And we have to read it regularly. We have to study regularly in the association of the devotees. Because Srimad Bhagavatam is not different than Krishna. Krishna Tulya Bhagavata Vibhu Sarvasraya. Idam Bhagavatam Nama Purana Brahma Samhitam. This Bhagavatam is no different than Krishna. So once we study Srimad Bhagavatam, we are associating with Krishna. So we are just not reading some books. But it's really up to the receiver, what exactly we get it. Like sometimes you put a pebble on the ground, it doesn't make any impact. But if you put same pebble, right, some stone, right, on a beautiful, peaceful pond, it creates beautiful ripples. Right? The same stone, right, but the effect is different. The same Bhagavatam, once you just read it, okay, because Prabhupada said that, it's as a part of our bhakti vriksha, bhakti steps. Okay, we have to just study first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, or as we do Srimad Bhakti Sastri or Bhakti Vaibhav, we study Srimad Bhagavatam. As a matter of ritual, or we study Srimad Bhagavatam with a grateful heart, with prayerful mood that this Srimad Bhagavatam is really released by the Vaishnavas. Yad Vaishnavanam Priyam. It's the same Bhagavatam Lord shows with his own example how to release Bhagavatam. He used to go every day, like during our Puri Yatra also, we were there in Tota Gopinath temple. We discussed how Gadadhar was to recite this different sections of Srimad Bhagavatam, like Vlad Maharaj's pastime, Dhruv Maharaj's pastime, hundreds of times. Sometimes we see that, is that every Sunday we have to go to Bhagavatam class? Can we not skip? It's good that we can take rest. Or we have so many other household chores, so we are so stretched in our weekday activities. Let's take a little bit more rest. Or we know all these pastimes already. There is nothing new. We hear the same that Krishna is the cause of all causes. Krishna is the everything. What is the new about it? But then, learnings of Bhagavatam is not just trying to get some new points, trying to learn something new. But then, learnings of Srimad Bhagavatam is a cyclic approach. The same verse, the same theme, the same story, we hear again and again from the devotees, and the newer and newer realization comes. And the realization is how we can apply these principles in our life. What is the Lord, triggering us, to learn? What can we learn from this person? How Lord is so great, how Lord is so, sweet, and how the devotees of the Lord, they really pray out, from their heart, in an unconditional and uninterrupted way. Just by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam in an attentive way, it has so beautiful benefits, especially in the 2.2.37, which is called also the Palastuti of Srimad Bhagavatam. It is mentioned very beautifully. Vivadiye bhagavato atmano satam kathamritam shravana puteshu samvritam punanti devi sayavido sitasayam prajanti tatcharana saroruhantikam. There is mentioned that how Pivanti, once we hear, because we hear that, it's Pivanti, we drink. Sometimes that we drink, when we drink water, we drink some juice. But here we drink the nectarian, the pastimes of the Lord. Like drink is so seamless, so it's like in a flow, without just like we must have seen, like how the Taila Dhara, right? Like it really comes. Right? So similarly, right? Let the transcendental name, form, qualities, pastimes of the Lord, pour into my ears. And I want to really keep my ears, really full. I want to really increase the capacity of my ear so that I can hear more and more. And with that, Punantite visaya vidusita, all our unwanted desires, polluted, aim of life, gets corrected. And then prajanti tat sarana sararumantita. With that, we'll also be able to go back to Godhead. Like sometimes if you are in Hungary, and especially recently in Vrindavan and Krishna Balaram temple, they give nice khichdi. And if you are hungry and if you're going in the queue, right, and you got a nice dona, and so you're standing in front of them, what do you do? Would you really like to kind of just shake it like this? You hear it attentively, you hear it steadily, so that the khichdi really goes into the dana. Right? And then if you are hungry, right, you would like to ensure that you take a bigger dana. Not satisfied with the smaller dana. Right? So, exactly the same way. Right? Like, if you are, eagerness, if you are very eager and if you are attentive, right? Your eagerness means, your capacity is so much to take it. Right? You are not satisfied with just one sloka a day. Yes, we hear that sloka a day gives the misery and pain. Right? That's, the devotee is not happy with just a sloka a day. Why not chapter a day? Because that's what our Vaisesika Prabhu says, chapter a day, chat. You should study Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter a day. Or canto a day. Maybe only full time. And we have so much of rasa. So yes. So yes, our eagerness is really our capacity, the size of the vessel, the size of the throne. And yes, we should really think it for more and more and more. And that's what Prithu Maharaj, Rupa Goswami, they used to always say, Nakamai na tadapi gaham question. Vidatsa karna ayudam enisaveda. We want millions of years, we want millions of cups, to drink more and more and more. And second one is that to be attentive. Right? Once you just hold it, this throne or the plate, you want to make it steady. Similarly, once you are steady, once you are attentive, then these transcendental words of the Bhagavatam really goes deep into the heart and does not get spilled. Otherwise, what happens? It will get spilled. It just ISKCON se USKCON. Hey ISKCON. So it's not that. Like it has to really go deep within our heart. And yes, at the same time, we don't want to also take a throne which is also full of holes. Full of holes means, our heart is full of offense. Right? Otherwise, yes, sometimes you I'm just studying Srimad Bhagavatam, I'm chanting the holy name. But why? There is no transformation. Because the road is having holes. Yes, I'm getting this nice, delicious prasad, but I'm not able to release it because it's full of holes. Yes, we should ensure that how we should be attentive, how we should have eagerness, and how we should be free from offense. This is the sum and substance. If we just hear this, that's good enough. And if we really apply this, that is the sum and substance of the Shastra. So, in this section, we have been discussing from the 5th canto, 18th chapter, 38th verse. So, just before that, this 5th canto starts from the activities of Priyavrata. So, till 4th canto, we hear about Swayambhu Manu and his son as Uttanapad, like Dhruva, and so on. In the 5th canto starts from the Priyavrata, King Priyavrata. And then towards the end of the 1st chapter, we hear from Sukadeva Goswami that how King Priyavrata, he moved his chariot and created 7 ditches in this Bhumandala, creating 7 islands with the 7 oceans. And the central island is called Jambu Deepa. And in the Jambu Deepa, it also talks about that how there are 9 versas separated by the 8 mountain ranges. And of course, in the center there is Sumeru mountain. On the south we have the Bharata Varsha, and on the top we have a Kuru Varsha. And that's all given in the 16th chapter of the this Canto. And the 17th chapter talks about that how during this Trivikrama pastime, how the Ganga came to this place and how everything got sanctified. And then from the mid of the 16th chapter till 19th chapter, we'll hear in these different 9 verses how the different devotees are praying to the Lordships. So in the 16th chapter, we hear that how in Tilaprata Varsha, Lord Shiva is praying to Lord Sankarsana. And in this 18th chapter, we started with prayer to highest by the Bhadrasva, in the Bhadrasva Varsha. In the 7 to 14, we heard that how Lord Narasimha is worshipped by Prahlad Maharaj in Hari Varsha. Or in 50 to 23, we heard that how Lord Kamadeva is worshipped by Mother Lakshmi in Ketumala Varsha. And then in 24 to 28, we hear that how Matsya is worshipped by Vaibhasa Manu in Ramyaka Varsha. And in 29 to 33, we heard about how Lord Kurma is worshipped by Aryama in Hiranyamya Varsha. And then in this section, we are hearing that how Bhumi Devi is worshipping to Lord Varahadev in Uttara Kuru Varsha, or it is also called Kuru Varsha. So sometimes, you might ask that, what is the need of hearing all these places? So Prabhupada gives, and Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur gives this, that first of all, we have to understand Jagannath, then we have to understand Gopinath. First, we have to understand how Lord Krishna is the Lord of the universe. And then we understand how is the Lord of the Gopis. So now we are hearing that how Sudhir Goswami is talking about with Lord's external feature, Lord's Maya Sakti, He creates this universe. How is the Lord's universe formed? How is Lord's external feature? Bhagavati Maya Guna Vibhuti. His Guna Vibhuti, his wonderful potencies of the Lord manifested through his Maya potency, has been really described. And then, of course, as we move forward towards the 10th canto, we hear that how Lord, through his Chit Sakti, he lifts the Govardhan hill and he performs so many wonderful pastimes. So, and it is mentioned that how Parikshit Maharaj, he brought all this topic. Parikshit Maharaj is very happy hearing the transcendental topics of the Lord and Krishna. But he brought these topics because he realized that in the audience there were also some, Bhakti Misra yogis, who would like to concentrate on the Lord, within their minds. So he really brought out this, universal creation and different varshas and so on. And also, once you really talk about Bhagavad Purana, especially in the 2nd canto, 10th chapter, it's given that how there are 10 topics in Srimad Bhagavatam. Sarga, Visarga, Sthana. And basically we hear this in 3rd canto, 4th canto, first one, the Sarga, and Visarga. Of course, like in each of the cantos, all the 10 topics are described. So Jiva Goswami says that we should not differentiate that, specific canto for specific themes. But in some cantos, there are some specific, emphasis is given. Sarga means the creation. Second creation is called Visargas. Sarga means how Lord creates, and Visarga means how he delegates secondary creation to Brahma. And then in this 5th canto, we hear about the sthana or sthiti. And in this verse also we just read sthiti. Sthiti means how Lord maintains all these universes because the jiva, the living entity, wants to enjoy. he wants to enjoy. But at the same time, right, in the fifth canto, Lord really talks about all this, divine places, but also he takes, especially once we hear the 26th chapter, which is all the devotees really gets, disturbed once we hear the 26th chapter. What is the 26th chapter? Anybody knows? Of fifth canto? Carries planets. Of course, the devotees are not worried. Because Narayana Parasara Vednakutasana Sarga Vivagana Abhitakarata Darsana. Because devotees are always happy. They are not, but especially the materialistic people, they get reviewed that, oh, this kind of these places are there and people have to suffer there. So yes, this is this canto primarily talks about is sthana, sthiti. And so in this section, Bhumi Devi is praying to Lord Barahadev, especially in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 13th chapter. Very elaborately, we hear about the appearance of Lord Barahadev. So first it talks about Siddha Baraha, how Siddha Baraha appears in the Swayambhuva Manu time period, to lift the earth, from this Govardhan ocean. And then we hear about Nila Baraha who appeared in Chakshusha Manvantara, 6th Manu, to kill Hiranyaksha. So, and then there also we talk about how everyone really prayed to Lord Barahadev. This prayer to Lord Barahadev is very beautifully given there in the 13th chapter of third canto. Like where a devotee prays that, oh Lord, just like you went deep into the ocean to bring out the earth, oh Lord Barahadev, oh Lord Krishna, please go deep into my heart as well, which is also full of darkness, full of ignorance, and bring out the bhakti within my heart, which is so hidden, which is so Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kavanoy, Sravana Adi Siddha Chitta Karay. So that's why, a prayer to Barahadev is always that, oh Lord, yes, my bhakti, my loving propensity towards the Lord and His devotees at this point is very dormant. It's not visible only. But yes, please go deep into my heart. It is so full of ignorance. It is covered by the layers of ignorance, and please manifest that love. And here, once again, Mother Lakshmi also prays very beautifully in the 35th verse, very nicely. Om Namo Bhagavate Tattva. Beautiful names of Lord Barahadev. And here in this verse that we read today, 38, Bhumi is saying that how, you are the cause of all causes. You are the supreme cause, you are ultimate cause. And Bhumi Devi is saying that, it's not that the nature is working automatically. Everybody is thinking that no, agentic AI will come. Right? Or the robotics or all the automation, then everything will be done automatically. But still, for the agentic AI or AI also to run, somebody has to code it, right? Somebody has to define the workflow. So yes, so here, very nicely, Prabhupada quotes from Chaitanya Charitamrita and all the different places. How there is a creator, there is a designer, there is an organizer, of this creation. It's not that everything happens by chance. So there is a nice anecdote I might have heard that once in London there was a horse carriage, that was being carried. That was in the year of 1905. So there was a gentleman who was with suit and very nicely dressed. He was sitting, and opposite to him also there was one young boy who was sitting. And this young boy saw that this elderly gentleman, who is sitting opposite to him, is chanting with his rosary. Seeing that this young man who had just completed his science graduation, he understood the importance of science. He just paused and said, "Sir, can I disturb you for a moment?" He said, "Yes, why not?" "Sir, why do you do all this? Why do you take shelter of these beads and all this and do all that? Don't you really read science? Don't you know this? It's this Big Bang theory and how all everything created by from this black hole. And if you'd like to know more about it, I can share some beautiful articles given by our scientists." I said, "Yeah, why not? Yeah, could you please share your card so that I can send it to you?" And this elderly gentleman, he handed over that his card to him. And as soon as he saw the card, he just dropped. Who was he? Anybody knows? Yes, Louis Pasteur, the French microbiologist. Right? And he said, "Sir, you?" "Yes." Right? And Lord Kelvin also says, right? The more you know about science, you will be forced by science to believe in God. Right? So it is not that everything happens by chance. Or here, Prabhupada gives this example of Ajagalastana. Ignorant people who might be seeing for a goat for the first time. Of course, nowadays, right, all our kids, from where the milk comes from the delivered maybe of FTH right, but they don't know how cow is milked also. But if somebody is seeing also for the goat for the first time, and sometimes you see that there's a nipple even on the necks of the goat. And they say, "Oh, the milk is coming from this nipple." But then intelligent farmer knows that it's not, that the milk comes from the, which looks like nipple, and milk doesn't come from there. Milk comes from the right, real nipple, right? So, or otherwise, recently last week only we are hearing from 4th canto, 31st chapter. Narada is telling to the Prachitas. There is another beautiful analogy. Sometimes we see, like in our Janmashtami also, we bring the potter, so just to fascinate all the people, right? How the pot is really made, right? Because hardly nowadays our kids will see how it is made. So what is that? Sometimes they know, like there is some earth, right, and that is put on a wheel, and a beautiful pot comes out. So a child might think that, whoa, from the earth or from this wheel, this pot is coming out. But then an intelligent person, intelligent parent knows that it's not the earth or the wheel is the cause of the pot. What is the cause of the pot? The potter. Who brings the earth and who rotates the wheel. He is the cause behind this pot. Right? Or one more analogy, our Acharya's gives is that sometimes if you happen to come across, like of course we don't deal with it, but in general we can give this analogy that sometimes people give a bone, to a dog, and as soon as the dog gets the bone, right, the dog is really absorbed in testing the size and the shape and the kind of bone that he gets. It's really absorbed in that. But then, if somehow we happen to, by chance meet a lion and somebody really throws a bone to that lion, what the lion sees? Lion sees the bone, or what he sees? The person who has thrown the bone. Mahaprasad. That's the difference, right? A person is having a dog consciousness or lion consciousness. A person who is having a dog consciousness thinks that, oh, this all, is for my enjoyment. This circumstance is for my enjoyment. But there is a lion consciousness, and I see that, oh, there's a hand of the Lord here. Or, especially in our Gajendra prayer, there's a very beautiful prayer, 8.3.15. Namo namaste akhila karanaya Niskaranaaya Adbhutakaranaya Sarvagamamnaya Sarvagamamnaya Maharnavaya Namo Pavargaya Parayanaya. It says that Namaste Akhila Karanaya Niskaranaya Adbhutakaranaya. So he is first, he's talking about three names. He's saying that Namaste Akhila Karanaya. Oh Lord, you are the cause of all causes. Sarva Karana Karana. Yes. So this nature could be the immediate cause, but the ultimate cause is the Supreme Lord. So everything happens by the sanction of the Lord, and He is the Anadi Adi Govinda. And Anadi is also Niskaranaya. He doesn't have any cause. And that's why He's Adbhuta Karanaya. He's that wonderful cause. First of all, He is the cause of all causes. He does not have any cause. He doesn't have any beginning. That's why He's called Niskaranaya. And because of His Akhila Karanaya and Niskaranaya, He is called Adbhuta Karanaya. And then He's saying that Sarva Agam Amnaya Maharnavaya. You are the source of all the paramparas. You are the source of all the Vedas. Vedesha Sarva Rahama Veda Veda. You are the source of everything. And Maharnavaya. Just like all the rivers go to the ocean. Similarly, all the path leads onto you. Right? If you are doing something, if it is not developing the love of Godhead for Krishna, that's the best. Na utpadati yadiratim sramam evahi kevalam. So whatever we do, right? It should really end up in developing love for Krishna. And then Namo Apavargaya. You are the giver of liberation, and Parayana. You are the center of all the transcendence. Yes, a devotee really understands how Krishna is the cause of all causes, and not that everything comes from matter. Right? Yes, especially in our Gita courses, also I might have heard once we discuss about this Iswara, that not that like matter comes from matter, life comes from life. It's not that life comes from the matter. It's not that somehow there was some simple manganese and this and that elements were there, then it formed a compound, and from that compound it forms amino acids, from that amino acids, then there was a protein and a molecule, from that protein molecule there was some soup, and somehow the living entities came into picture. Once Prabhupada heard, especially Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj, Dr. T.D. Singh, he used to play the role of a scientist, and he used to discuss with Prabhupada. And then Prabhupada, this is what it is, right? It all comes from chemicals. This body is chemicals. And Prabhupada used to say that, okay, I give you all the chemicals that you are talking about. Can you really bring out the body? Oh, you see there's a dead tree here. I'll give you all the chemicals. Can you bring this tree alive? Is it possible? No? Right? Yes. But or even the scientists also, if there's a pain in the body, they say, oh, my C fibers is really shooting now. They say that. Or now if we have a robot, right? If the robot says, I love you, does any kind of a feeling comes in our heart? No. Right? Because what is missing? Consciousness is missing. And that consciousness, is Mam Ivam Sajiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. That how Avinasi Kupapiti Vasam Siddhi. Right? So all this soul is a part and parcel of the Lord. And everything, this whole material world, is manifested through the glance of the Supreme Lord. And through that glance, it really activates all the living entities. So yes, in Bhagavad Gita here again and again, the Lord is saying, Mato Paratram Nanyam Kinchitatijan Aham Bija Pradapita. Lord is the origin of everything. Lord is the cause of everything. With Lord's sanction, everything really gets manifested. That's why a devotee of the Lord, what he says, Yamam pasyati sarvatra sarvam chamai pasyati. Tasyaham na pranasyami sachana pranasyami. That's why for a devotee, right, he sees the Lord everywhere. He sees the Lord in all the living entities as a Paramatma. He sees how this entire creation is manifested by the Lord. And third, he sees that all the situation is orchestrated by the Lord. Everything. Everything, is the arrangement of the Lord. Everything is an opportunity, to see the Lord. So one time, His Holiness Jagadhar Swami Maharaj, he saw, one boy was wearing a T-shirt with prji. What is written there? Oh, Govinda Mahadi Purisam. One time, Amarendra Prabhu was saying that he was in Sydney and in a signal, he saw the Paramatta, P-A-R-A-M-I-T-A. And the devotees who was accompanying him, he said, yes, Srila Prabhupada also standing here, in this traffic light. And Prabhupada saw this. Prabhupada saw this Pramatta. So, oh, it's a Pramatta. Nyunam Pramatta Kurute Vikarma. How all these people are so mad, and because of that they are saying this. Nobody would have imagined just by, just reading this Paramatta. Prabhupada not only, understood what is the deeper significance of this Western material world, but also connected to a Bhagavatam verse also. And the same devotee was saying that Jayapatra Goswami Maharaj, he also was passing through that signal. He said, oh, Paramatta? Oh, Paramata? Oh, this is Radharani? Oh, Radharani is saying a very mercy here as well. Right? Yes. Eyes of a devotee is that they would really like to see everything, everywhere. There is a Krishna. Krishna is in every living entity heart, or there is a Krishna's creation, or every situation is really orchestrated by the Krishna's energy. So yes, there is this nice pastime of Ramananda Rai and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on the bank of Kabur, as Mahaprabhu was sitting with Danda, and next moment, Ramananda Rai saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the one who is really holding flute, playing flute. And Ramananda Rai is saying to Mahaprabhu, oh Lord, just now I saw you on Danda, and now I saw you in flute. Right? You are so wonderful. And Mahaprabhu is saying, oh, because you are so devotee of the Lord, everywhere you are seeing Krishna. Right? We hear the other beautiful pastime. There is a very wonderful associate of the Lord called Mukunda, who is a Khandavasi, near to Katwa, where Mahaprabhu took sannyas. There we have Narayana Sarkar, Mukunda, and Raghunandan. Right. So Mukunda, he used to be a Veda, physicist, you can say, of the king at that point of time. And this king was sitting on his asan. And Mukunda, sometimes he went and he was checking, if his health is okay, his fever or what. And at the same time, one of the associate of that king, he was fanning with the peacock feather to the king. And as soon as Mukunda saw that peacock feather of that person was fanning, he remembered Krishna. Oh, Baraha Pigida. Oh, my Lord Krishna is always wearing peacock feather. Just remembering that, he fainted. He became unconsciousness. And the king was thinking, right? Mukunda came to treat me, and now he is unconsciousness. Now I have to go and take care of him. So he went, and he realized that, because he knew that, because he was somehow a devoted person with the association of Mukunda. He realized that unconsciousness, Ashtasattvic Vikas. And then just a matter of time, once you woke up, then you said, what happened, Mukunda? What happened? No, I just got some epilepsy. Because a devotee, if you're a devotee of the Lord, and he does not show himself that, oh, you see, I am a Paramahamsa. Right, I see Krishna everywhere. A devotee always sees that, oh, I'm just ignorance. They really like to, like sometimes, if somebody is a billionaire, Some people are there, they want to really show off, but a person really understand the real dhana of this world is not of this world that we see here. Yes. The real wealth is that money cannot buy. Sometimes the people are so wealthy that they have only, they are so poor that they have only money. But Mukunda, he was the wealthiest person. He had this bhakti, he had a sense of the love for the Lord, but he was really hiding. Otherwise, so up, it will be robbed by the plunderers. That's why the devotees of the Lord, they say that they want to keep it high, in the locker within their heart. Their love for the Lord, they don't manifest. So, yes, what we are discussing here is that how a devotee of the Lord, he really sees the Lord's arrangement everywhere. And then, in this purport also there is one more beautiful section where Prabhupada talks about that. Okay, Lord has created it, His own arrangement. But why Lord has created this material world? दुनिया क्यों बनाया? Why Lord has created it? Is it only for our suffering? Why Lord has created this material world? Once you hear Prabhupada's words, hear that with multiple analogies. First thing is that, yes, this world is just like a jail. Just like a jail. Why the government creates jail? Because there are people who are disobedient to the laws of the government, right? Law of the state. And to take care of that, the government has created jail. Or the Supreme Lord, He has created this Durga. Durga as a superintendent to ensure that they get corrected. We always say this, especially for some time we were in Munich, Germany, and near to Munich there is a place called Dachau. So we didn't want to go, but some of our colleagues, they said, oh no, let's go. It's a very historical place. And once you reach there, still now you can feel this negative energy, negative vibration. That how millions of people, they were put into the gas chamber and they were killed there. It's very horrible, very horrible. But then we hear that this material world is not a concentration camp. This is just a jail. The Lord has created this place not to finish us, not to annihilate us. Lord has created this place so that we get corrected, we get purified. All our enjoyment propensity gets transformed, and then we develop the propensity to serve the Lord. From Bhoga Vritti, it really goes to the Seva Vritti. This material world is also considered as a breeze. Through that breeze, on one side you have this Bhoga Vritti, another side you have the Seva Vritti. This material world is created for us to transform our life. It's an opportunity, right, to really develop ourselves, create an environment where we can change ourselves. And also, our acharyas also give this example that this material world is also a hospital. It's not a hotel. That okay, in a hotel, you get what you want. You get some nice food, nice, kind of whatever you like, different kinds of things. But in a hospital, you cannot demand. So yes, you cannot say, oh, I need this blue color syrup. I need this, pink tablet. Lord, the doctor knows what is good for us. Right? Similarly, we cannot demand, oh Lord, why are you giving this to my neighbor or the other devotee, and why this to me? Right? Lord knows what medicine is good for us. We should have faith in the Lord. At that point of time, we should not ask, is Lord with me? We should ask, am I with the God? Am I with the Lord? You understand the difference? Because most of the times we think that the Lord Yes, he's very powerful. But I think his intelligence is not that great. Right? Because I know good, I know the best, what is good for me. So Lord should do what I like, what I want. So Lord, I always ask, is Lord with me? Why Lord is doing all this to me? But a sincere devotee of the Lord, right? Who really asks that. Yes, not Lord is not only powerful, but He is also the most intelligent. He knows what is good for us. Then who knows that? Right? And then he will look forward to every situation. How can I really learn from the Lord, and how can I really progress towards the Lord? Sometimes we see the kids, right? The kids, like if you take the parents or some known person, right? They really play with the kids. They really make them play. Right? You have seen? They really throw them 1 feet or 2 feet, and then once they catch. Initially, the first time, the kids really get frightened, cry. But once they see that how the mother or a father, especially father, they do this. The father really kind of takes care of that kid very nicely, and then really hugs the kid. The kid comes back. Oh, once more. I want to jump today. Because he knows that, I'll be protected by my father. This is a time for me to play. Isn't it? Yeah. Right? Does that time the kid get scared? Oh, what will happen if my father kind of leaves me? No. The kid has a faith in the arm of the father that yes, you will take care of me. So for me to just jump and have fun. Right? So yes, we are there, with that faith, Lord will take care. Why should we really get disturbed in whatever situation it may be? What is really required is a faith. And that faith gets generated in the association of devotees. And that's why we hear again and again that the devotees' only desire is to really develop love for the Lord, to please the Lord, to serve the Lord. But how the Lord is pleased? How the Lord is pleased? Dayaya sarva bhutesu. Dayaya sarva bhutesu. Once we serve all the living entities. Santustya yena kenava. Indriya upasantyacha. Tusyati asu janardana. Once again I was singing to the Prachikas. This is the way you can really please the Lord Jagannath, Lord Janardhan, or Lord Jagannath, or Lord Krishna, Samsundar, Nandar. There's 3 things. And especially our Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj says that yes, all the devotees would have this MSc degree. And what is MSc? And the first thing is that a devotee should be merciful. Jare dekho tare ko Krishna upadesi. Wherever you go, please take this message of Bhagavad Gita. Right? Yes, this is a wonderful opportunity at this point of time. That if you want to really please the Lord, if you want to really please Srila Prabhupada, you just go door to door. This is what Nityananda Prabhu has done. This is what Srila Prabhupada had done on the streets of Delhi. And this is what he is asking us to do. Dayaya sarva bhutesu. You see that how the living entity, they are really looking for the Lord, but somehow or other they have forgotten it. They have really lost this courage, and they are thinking that we can be happy just by enjoying this material world. But as a well-wisher, true children of the Lord, who share this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, which really is a bhaktaram, sarva loka maheswara. We can really attain santi, the peace and bliss in our heart, only once we connect everything to the Lord. Right? Yes, this is a wonderful opportunity for all of us to share this Bhagavad Gita as much as possible. Yes, there could be so many inhibitions, obstacles, challenges, or complacency. But then, yes, once you do it, not only, right, the Lord is pleased, Prabhupada is pleased, we ourselves also gets nourished with this. Dayaya sarva bhutesu. Santustya yena kenava. Just be happy with whatever Lord has given to us. Not, using BCC, in the email to the Lord. What is the BCC? Blaming, complaining, criticizing, right? All that, No VCC, just directly to the Lord. And you can use CC. CC means, Chaitanya Charitamrita Vaishnava qualities, you can really, use it in our way to the Lord. Right? But no VCC. Yes, and then, right? Yes, just be happy. Just happy and chanting the holy names of the Lord. Oho, vi, Savai Kali Viduyate. Right? Just in this age of Kali, which is full of darkness, let's take Sudha Madhuram Pade Pade. Dina Dine Chandana Chandra Sitaram Yaso Yasoda Tanayos Chakiyate. Just by chanting the holy name of the Lord, our heart is fully satisfied. Right? So yes, we take shelter of the Lord's holy name. Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Once you take shelter of the holy name, right, our heart is completely filled, completely satisfied. Ye Yatma Suprasiddhati. We should take shelter of the holy name, chant the holy name with faith, with humility, with attention. And then, Sarvendriya Upasantya. Sarvendriya, we should control our senses. How we should control our senses? The most important way is to serve the devotees. Yes, we serve the devotees. Once we serve the devotees, the deity is pleased, the Lord is pleased. And yes, Kaya, Mana, Vachya, with the body, mind, and words, the Lord has given all of us a beautiful car, the BMW cars. Right? We are thinking that, so till this point of time, we are so much of infatuated with our ahamkar. But we can, change our car from aham to BMW. And we can use our body, mind, and words for the pleasure of the Lord. That's the best way. We can really control our senses. Otherwise, the senses are very strong. This is not in our control. Bhadavat Drudham. But once we develop this humble service attitude to serving the devotees of the Lord, then we will be able to control. And with these three, once we attain this MSc, we develop this quality of being merciful to the devotees. Once we are satisfied at every situation by taking shelter of the Lord's holy name, and see, controlling our senses by serving the devotees of the Lord is pleased. And in this also, the essence of our parampara is there. Jivadaya, Namruchi, Vaishnavasya. These three are also included in this beautiful sloka. 431-19. Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna. Gandhra Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Prabhupada ki Jai. Any questions, comments?
Only necessary devotees. If we are at home, like Sunday, you can read the devotees. Or other days like Monday to Friday, then you can read alone at home. So their associate devotees are not there. So is it not advisable? Or
Yes, Prabhuji. So, because it's we hear in Chaitanya Charya that Jao Bhagavata Pada Vaishnavas Charan Vaishnavas Ekanta Asraya Kara Chaitanya Charane Jao Bhagavata Pada Vaishnava Rasthane. We should hear Srimad Bhagavatam in the association of devotees. And yes, once you study Srimad Bhagavatam and reading the word-to-word translation and purport, we are associating with Prabhupada. Prabhupada is really, instructing us. Oh, Vaishnava Saram Prabhu, this is the instruction from Srimad Bhagavatam for you. I am really taking it, with all the essence from, all the acharyas. The Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, all the commentaries, all their association is there in this purport. Everything is there. It's not only Prabhupada, he's giving, like he's not only his devotional ecstasy, but he has really brought all the treasure. Right? And that's how, like yesterday also we were discussing that, sometimes the grandfathers or the grandfathers, they work so hard, so that our children or grandchildren or grandchildren, enjoy their life. But then, if the grandchildren or the children, if they don't take care of that wealth properly and they ignore that, we'll call them as a fools. rascals, Prabhupada's words. Right? Similarly, all our acharyas worked so hard, so that that all the devotees, they will really enjoy, right? They will release, the commentaries of our acharyas. But if they don't take this wealth sincerely and they live life pauper, right, without taking care of this treasure, then how unfortunate it is. Right? Yes. But sometimes still we don't understand, don't realize the value of these purports. And then what we should do, there are, of course, in the Bhagavatam class, we come here and every Sunday and we take a lot of inspiration how to study Srimad Bhagavatam. And then there are also something called, a lot of places we have sport, Srila Prabhupada online reading team. Right? So there are a lot of online readings also happening, which can take advantage. Or, right, still, we are not alone at home. We have also some other Vaishnavas also at home. Our spouse, our kids. We can be doing there. So it's not that Vaishnavas are there only in the Bhakti center. Right? So we have near and dear ones, we can really facilitate. Once we have the sincere desire, right, we can really find out some time. That yesterday I was just we had this one devotee. He was saying that every day morning with a group of devotees, he studies in the morning Srimad Bhagavatam, in the evening Chaitanya Charitamrita, and during daytime, with some colleagues he read Bhagavad Gita. Yes, it's really up to us. In spite of so many busy schedule, devotees find time to get Srimad Bhagavatam. And some devotees, they come together, in a house, right? Like just on Saturday or Sunday, you just read. Okay, you read your own quota, whatever you're studying Bhagavad Gita, you're studying Bhagavatam, somebody studying some science of sacrifice. You read on your own. But then once you come together and sit, right, then you get inspiration from each other. And at the end, maybe we can share some points with each other. And once you are sufficiently nourished, then we should go out and distribute it. Right? Yes. And that's what Prabhupada always says that, you read my books and distribute my books. Because we are not so convinced, what is the potency of this message of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. We are related. Right? Last year, our youth devotees, they distributed, I think hundreds of Srimad Bhagavatam sets. Right? Here. Right? And we're just asking Prabhuji, we find so difficult to just distribute one small book or Bhagavad Gita. How you are distributing Srimad Bhagavatam? Prabhuji, we just heard that. If you are convinced, you are convinced to distribute Bhagavad Gita, why not get convinced to distribute Bhagavatam? It's the same, just book only. It's the Lord only. Krishna to Bhagavatam. This is Krishna. We are just offering them Krishna. Once we are convinced within our heart, yes, we can do it. Yes, makes sense, Prabhuji. Yes. Wherever there is a desire, because most of the times, like once like one person he went, so that okay, I want to know about the flights. I want to know about I want to go to Delhi, and he went to one nearby hawker. Can you tell me which flight is there, what time, and so on. I said, are you mad? And then he realized, okay, he did a mistake, and then he went to the like a dealer agent. He just asked, okay, which flight is there, and what is the price, and what time it is there, what are the different flights of which airlines, and so on. And then he said, okay, when you want to go? No, I was just asking for fun. And then another time, right, okay, now not only I know whom to go, and now also I know that I have a desire to go. But if I have a desire to go also, but am I willing to pay the price? Right? Because most of the times, yes, we would like to know about Bhagavad Gita. I would not like to know about Srimad Bhagavatam. Then we go here and there, try to get some from WhatsApp, from this tube, that tube, this, where, and that. Right? Then we understand we have to read from Srimad Bhagavatam. But once you hear from Srimad Bhagavatam, then are we willing to pay the price? From reading Srila Prabhupada's books. Right? Because it's not just about just knowing about things. It's given, are you willing to pay the price by following the instruction of Srimad Bhagavatam? That is a true association, reading in association means. Right? It's not just about Gyan. Gyan is like a weapon, right? Jnana Sena in Bhagavad Gita. Right? But then that only weapon is not sufficient. We should have strength also, and that strength is really we get it by serving the devotees, by coming in the association of the devotees. So that's why all this process is really complementary. That's why in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, first canto, second chapter, we hear that. Sometimes how to get taste in Srimad Bhagavatam. And then we hear that. What is that word? Susrasya Sadhatanas, Vasudeva Katharas, Syam Mahaseva Vitra. Like once we come in this, association of devotees, we are more willing to serve. Once we are more eager to serve the devotees, we get more taste in reading Srimad Bhagavatam. We get more taste in chanting the holy names. So they are really all complementary. Hare Krishna. So that was a long. Any questions or comments? Yes, sir.
In the purport, there was one statement that says Sankhya philosophy.
Very good. Thank you very much.
So, as per my little understanding, it's understood that Sankhya philosophy is low grade. If that is so, maybe I'm wrong. Then why Kapil, the Lord himself, gave Sankhya Gyan to her mother, a devotee at the last stage of her life?
Yeah, good question.
Should have given Bhakti Yoga.
Yes, good question. Good question. So, we hear that there's one Sankhya philosophy and there's one Sankhya yoga. Okay. The Sankhya philosophy that usually people talk about, that in general, this is the Sankhya given by the atheist Kapila. It really talks about the soul and the Prakriti, Jiva and Prakriti, without keeping God, without keeping Lord in the center. That is the atheistic Sankhya philosophy. But then once you talk about Sankhya Yoga, which is really given by Lord Kapila, the son of Devahuti and Kardama, to Devahuti, that is Sankhya Yoga, where he not only talks about Prakriti and Jiva, he talks about Iswara also. And once we understand the Iswara, then we develop that, okay, I need to also develop that bhakti. Right? Or the Sankhya Yoga, that's like our second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, is also called Sankhya Yoga, where we understand that yes, we are the soul, we are not the body. But we are part and parcel of the Lord. And our purpose is to really connect to the Lord. Yes, and there are two. So, Prabhupada tells again and again, don't be enamored by this atheistic Kapila or the cricketer Kapila. But focus on the Lord Kapila, the son of Devahuti. I said here, yes. And beautiful, especially the 25th chapter of 3rd canto is really delineates the devotion service. There's beautiful verses like Satam Prasangan, Virya Samvido, how we should come in the association of the devotees and hear the glories of the Lord. Right? Where he talks about what is the quality of sadhu, very beautifully. The Sankhya Yoga really talks about how to develop devotion service. And he talks about also the Bhakti Yoga and the mode of ignorance, mode of goodness, and mode of passion also. Sometimes Bhakti Yoga also is different, depending on the audience, depending on the partner, the doer who performs Bhakti. Yes, that's so much of detail is there in this.
One more.
Yes.
We often say that devotee association. Who do we call it devotee?
Yes, very good. So this is a nice. Is it that somebody who just only tilak and kantimala with dhoti kurta, with do say devotee? And just yesterday only we were just discussing. That's what Satyaraj Khan he asked Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu, you said that for like Bisais like us, you get 3 formula. You just do Krishna Seva, Vaishnava Seva, and Nama Sankirtana. And yes, we know Krishna Seva, we worship the Lord Krishna. Now you said Nama Sankirtan, yes, we will just chant Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
And third thing you said Vaishnava Seva. But how do you know who is a Vaishnava? Vaishnava ke? Right? This is asked by Satyaraj Khan to Mahaprabhu. And what is Mahaprabhu's answer? And Suni Ekavara. If somehow or other, if somebody chants the holy name once, Krishna, Gopal, Govinda, Madhusudana, Madhava, Hrishikesh, he is a Vaishnava. He is a devotee. And yes, of course, later on, Mahaprabhu, he gives a more deeper and deeper understanding. Then in the second instance, Mahaprabhu says to Satyaraj Khan that whoever chants the name of the Lord always, Satatam, Nirantaram, Satata Kirtanam, he is a Vaishnava. And then next time he says that just by seeing a Vaishnava, seeing a devotee, if others also get inspired to chant, then he is a Param Vaishnava. Right? Yes, a person might not know Lord, but if he knows you and you know Lord, then just by knowing you, I'll develop Lord's love. You understand? So I might not know the Supreme Lord, but I know you, and you know the Lord, and you are serving the Lord. And by serving you, by knowing you, I'll be able to develop Lord's love. Or just to make it simple, right? Sometimes here, there is a nice ice cream, parlor that is opened, right? And you might just ignore, you might just pass by. But then next time, our Kapil Prabhu, he likes ice cream. He said, Prabhuji, this ice cream parlor there, it's so delicious, so yummy, it's so nice. You should not miss, Prabhuji. And then, sometimes you'll go and find out, can you tell me, Prabhuji, after which shop it is there, where it is, and which flavor and all that. So you pass by, pass by that place, you don't see, you don't really, hardly you care about it. Once you hear from others, wow, is it so? No, next time, I pass by that to the fasting, I'll get that flavor. But similarly, sometimes we come in the association of the Lord, right? We don't understand the glories of the Lord. That's why, we hear the Prachetas, Prithu Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, this Nalakuvarman. The only thing they ask is that how you can get association of the devotees. Because once you come in the association of devotees, we get the inspiration to glorify the Lord. Especially, right? Paraspara Anukathanam, Bhagavatam, Pavanam, Bhagavati Yasam, Mitharatir Mithatusti, Nibrutir Mitha Atmana, Smarayanta Smarayanta, Samiko Ogam Harim, Vibhati Utpukulam Tanum, Bhakti Sanjate Bhakta, Vibhati Utpulakam Tanum. So, in the association of devotees, what do you do? Smarayanta Smarayanta. We remind each other about the glories of the Lord. Mitho Ogo Haram Harim, all this, sinful activities, sinful tendencies really gets washed away. And then Vibharti Utpulakam Tanum, and Bhakti really gets sprouted within our heart. Bhaktya Sanjate, the real Bhakti gets really arisen and awakened only with the association of devotees. That is the glory of this, the Bhaktis, the Sanghas, Satsanga, the association of devotees. The devotee association doesn't mean that, okay, when the association will go to just, like one devotee saying that some Gurukulus, they say, oh, you want to do a movie, with whom? Right? With the association of devotees. Right? Or we'll go for party, with the association. No. Association means Parasparu Anam Kathanam Pavanam Bhagavata Yasa. In the association of the devotees, we inspire each other to take sight of the Lord and our beliefs in the devotees. And Sadhu Sangha means we allow the words of the sadhu to change ourselves. If you are just associating with the sadhus, but we are not allowing ourselves to change ourselves, means we are not really taking advantage of sadhu sangha.
But there are two blind. One blind is explaining a defend is like this. Another blind is explaining like when let me give an example. So a medical student, it takes 12 years to get a doctorate degree. And then after a few years of practicing, he becomes an experienced doctor. But maybe from the day one, he's putting an apron and a stethoscope on his neck. So when one kacha pakka gyan interacts with another kacha pakka gyani, there is a high probability of dosh darshan.
Yes.
I'm not able to explain.
Yes, I understand, Prabhupada, what you are trying to say. That yes, right. Most of the times, what happens, right? Like usually, right? What do we think? Oh, like Vasily, it's so unfortunate. I am so low. I'm so fallen that I could not get association of Gopal Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Viswanath Chakravarti. Oh, Srila Prabhupada, currently whatever the devotees, they don't know anything. They are so blecha. Whatever we see here, they don't know the Bhagavatam. They have not studied Bhagavatam. They have not studied Chaitanya Charitamrita. They don't exhibit the qualities. Right? We have a wonderful role models who are in the past, who are like, the wonderful sages. But usually who are around us, we always try to maximize, because we are associated with them more, we try to find out their faults most of the times. Right? But then, a devotee is a saragrahi. Right? Yes, all of us are in this material world, means, we have some enjoyment propensity, we have some envious nature. We are in the hospital. And somebody, like in an emergency, some senior patient who has already recovered, we also tell them, now please take care of it. During COVID time, you say, no, okay, now you are good, okay, take care of others. Right? It is an emergency situation where you know a little bit, okay, please help others. It's an emergency. It's not that he has completely recovered, and he's also not saying that I am completely, purified at this point of time. I just know a little bit, but I am saying that please read this. Then he's a perfect. I am connecting to Srila Prabhupada. I am really connecting to the pure devotees of the Lord. But if I start saying that, oh, I have become a full-fledged, qualified doctor, right? Yes, in the hospital, we see that a lot of support staff would be there. They would take that patient to the main doctor. Right? And that's why, from both the sides. And I initiate, neophyte preacher. We should also, yes, we should say whatever we know. At the same time, or if we don't know anything, we should direct them to the senior devotees. Right? And for us also, we should look forward to associate with what we have, and then always look forward to hear from seniors as well. Hare Krishna. Yantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada.